Getting a normal Apple app released in the store is not particularly difficult. However, when there is external Bluetooth hardware involved, aka when we are working on a companion app, there are a few significant caveats when you want to get out of test flight and into mainline distribution. And in this little video, I want to show you a few of the issues which we ran into when we were working on our own companion app. The first thing you need to check is the business settings here in business. And there are quite a lot of unlogical things. So for example, even if you want to have only free apps, you still need to sign the paid apps agreement. But these are mostly just things which you can do online. So for example, if you want to add a bank account, you just go in here and you just have to basically follow this assistant. And what is important is, of course, you try to eliminate as many of these as possible. And it wouldn't be Apple if they wouldn't implement something to torture you here also. I'm gonna show you this, that you don't get hurt. Here, when you've selected the country, you need to click Don't Know Your Bank Identity Code. And then you can search for your bank. And it is really, really important that you select it that way, because otherwise the system will give you an error here. And here with the add tax forms, you see that you don't always need these. So this is an empty error which you can just ignore. But then, as you see here, you can go down. And at least here we've got the free apps agreement active. Then here we have the US tax questionnaire. So we can say here no. And then we say no again because we have no US assets. And then it will just ask for these normal forms which you just have to fill out. But this is now not so important. You can do it as time goes by, just don't forget about it. Let us start out with the first unique aspect when you are working on a companion app. You get a message like this here, Guideline 2.1 information needed. And if you get this message, this means that Apple wants a video which shows how the application works. I will show you the video which we used in a few seconds. And in the meantime, what is important is that you upload it here on your YouTube account, and then you send them a link to the YouTube video, both in the messages window and also during the submission process, where it is like submit things which are intended for the QA team. So you have this YouTube video here, and yes, I checked statistically, they do look at this video. So the video really needs to show the app. I am Engineer Tam Hanna, trustee of ICBeats LLC, and I will now demonstrate to you the required setup process. This is an embodiment of the product which is using our light technology. As you see, it reacts to my voice. Now I will bring up an iPhone. You see that there is no pairing relationship between the ashtray and the iPhone. And I am now starting the control application, I am now starting the control application. I am scanning for devices, I am connecting to the device, And as you see, I can now change the colors. And I can also open a menu, for example, to use a loudness modulation, where the loudness modifies the colors. Or I can activate spectral mode display, or I can return to the one color mode as you see here. I hope that this demonstration has been satisfactory. Let me reiterate that the connection between the iPhone and the Bluetooth device is erected solely using a Bluetooth LE connection with 3 characteristics, and there is no personal information collected anywhere in the process. And now I'm going to show you later, as at a later date, once again the process. I'm switching it on again, and you see it remembers the settings. Once again, I'm going into my iPhone here, and you see where are the settings. I am sorry, I am not a big iPhone user. Here we go into the settings, and we still see that there is no relationship. You see, it is scanning, but there is no relationship. And to show again the scanning process, we start the BobSync app, we click Start to Scan, we click the ashtray, and now we are again connected, as you can see, because I can change the colors. I hope that this has been satisfactory. If there are any more questions, I shall always be at your availability. I am honored, and I wanted to thank you for your cooperation. Another common issue that is quite specific to real hardware is this one. If you, like me, don't develop on your own bill, but you develop to the honor of a client, then Apple will require some additional documents. And these documents, fortunately, are not particularly difficult if you know what to make. You need to erect a power of attorney like this. You see here, you just take the normal identifying information, and then you declare what the power of attorney is about. And then you've got this passage. What is particular is that you put this in so that the trademarks or patents are made available. And then finally, here you just need to have the, as we call it in Austrian English, salvatoric clauses. And then you just, one of you prints it out, signs it, scans it in again, sends it to the other one, he prints it, he signs it, you upload it as a PDF, and then you can attach it to the App Store submission. The next major nuisance, which often trips up people working on hardware companion apps, is this here. When you go into your info.plist file, which is here in info.plist, you see that below each of the Bluetooth keys, there is a text. And you need to have an active statement such as this, which explains what the application does, because if you don't have this statement, then Apple will simply reject your application. The rest of it is mostly very straightforward. However, there is one thing which can be a problem when you work on a companion app, namely the iPad. Because why should you test it on an iPad? Or the high resolution demand. And in practice, however, I have had no problems at all. I just took screenshots from my iPhone SE 2nd generation and put them in GIMP and rescaled them. And you see, I even did the same rescaling for the iPad app, and I had no problems. So this is the one thing you don't really need to worry about. The rest of the submission is pretty simple. You just fill all of this out, and you can always go here into distribution, and the system will show you, or rather here into apps, and the system will always show you where it is and what is happening. So in principle, you just follow step by step. And what's important, you always need to check your email account, because you see here, they send you an incredible amount of messages, and you always need to react these quickly. And the final thing is, when Apple summons you, they send you pending developer release. So then you go in here and you click the button release this version. You click release this version. And now it usually should show something, but sometimes the site is a bit stupid. So we push here again the refresh button. And we see here ready for distribution. So the application is now successfully for sale. One important question, of course, always is, how long does it take? And for our run here, they really did a pretty good job. And if we would have been faster, the legal teams worked faster, it wouldn't have been Christmas, terror and everything, we could have probably completed this process within a week. What's the most important thing is, you need to really check your iPhone twice a day for the iTunes emails and respond quickly. As long as you always respond, Apple will not tax you. As always, with anything related to Apple, this information might change within 2 hours from now. So I'm filming this video on the 23rd December of 2024. As of now, so if we look back, as of the last few days, that was valid. And that is that.